Hi everyone, this is Michelle, aka Mishi. Today's topic is going to be about the downfalls of being about resiliency, the positives about being resilient, how to be resilient, and why sometimes being too resilient, sorry, can cause a problem in your life. Okay, so I'll start with the positive, or I'll explain why I'm so resilient. As a young child, or as many of you know, my whole life has been one problem after another. And I always had to be resilient. I had no choice. Like, when I went through situations in my life, I chose, rather than being negative and crying about it, to always look at the positive. Especially when I was younger, when I was going through hard times, I always looked at how I can be resilient, how I can move forward, and I would just push what I was feeling and let go of it rather than sitting and dwelling on it. For me, the ways I can be very resilient is the reason I'm so resilient is I sometimes talk about my emotions to people close to me. I share how I am, how I'm doing, and for me, talking is really, really helpful when I'm talking to people. It helps me just deal with situations a lot quicker. It helps me heal a lot quicker. It just helps me move on a lot quicker. I also do a lot of journaling and writing, and it helps me write down my emotions, how I'm feeling at the time. Like, for example, this past week, I dealt with something that I didn't think would happen, but I had no choice, and unfortunately, I had to deal with it. And I just been writing so much things down, and it's just helped me move past the situation, and it's helped me not dwell on the situation or cry about the situation. It just has helped me understand things a little more and see a little more clearly on what happened. And I also am very honest with myself. I always feel that when I go through problems, I don't blame people. I always take credibility for what I have done. Like, I know I'm not perfect. I have done things, and I'm also responsible for what has happened. And that's how I'm resilient. That's why I'm able to be resilient, because I talk about it, because I write down my emotions, because I admit to my own faults, because I don't think I'm perfect. But at the same time, it sucks that I'm so resilient, because sometimes I have gone through situations in the past where I just have brushed it off, or I tried to heal too quickly and I tried to move on too quickly, that I haven't had a moment to cry, or I put my guard up rather than crying. So that's kind of hard for me, because for example, like, something about my past came up and I had to go speak with someone, and I had to take a break because the past came up. And I think that was my own fault, because rather than healing from it, or rather than actually dealing with my emotions at that time, I kind of just brushed it off, and it came back into my life 10 years later. And I think that's the issue with me being so resilient, because sometimes I don't heal correctly and I move on too quickly, and that makes my future kind of sucks, because then it comes back one way or another. Also, being too resilient has caused me for people to presume I'm mean-hearted or cold-hearted. A lot of people think because I don't cry or because I don't talk about what has happened, that means I don't care. It's not the truth. I really do care. I really have a lot of emotions. It's just because, I don't know, I just always had to be independent. I always had to depend on myself, that I just don't know how I can cry or how I can let something break me, because I don't want something to break me. I don't want a human to break me. I don't want life to break me. I just want to move on. And people just presume that means I have no emotions, I have no feelings, I didn't care. Obviously, that's not the truth. It's just really hard for me to show emotions, or it's really hard for me to cry about something. For me, when something happens, I just want to heal and I just want to move on. Like, for me, whatever happened last week, like, all my focus is on, okay, it happened, I have to move on. I have no other choice but to move on, and the next things I need to do is focus on school, and focus on my job and career, and focus on finding myself. But I know somehow or somewhere what I have gone through will affect me in the near future, because I'm probably pushing or moving on way too fast. But as I said, it's just an issue with me being too resilient. Me being too resilient has caused me not to deal with my emotions correctly, or has really people have actually thought I'm cold-hearted. Also, being too resilient, sometimes people think I'm okay, and people don't ask about how I'm doing, so that also affects me because, like, people are like, oh, she's so good at dealing with stuff, so we don't need to ask her how she's doing. And basically, I feel like I'm abandoned or I'm alone because everyone thinks I'm okay, but in reality, I'm not okay. In reality, my heart breaks. In reality, everything is not okay, everything is not perfect. But it's so hard for me to ask for help, and I think it's hard for my family and friends to ask me if I'm okay because they know I'm too resilient. They know I bounce back too quickly, and they just don't know what to ask or how to help me because they're like, oh, you should cry it out, but I don't want to cry. You should do this, but I don't want to do this. And I'm so stubborn. So I guess being resilient is good, but being too resilient is bad. And it's about finding a balance. I truly believe we shouldn't let a situation control us or let anyone control us or define us. But at the same time, I think we should be healing from situations and not moving on as quickly as I do. I think being resilient helps us be confident, know that everything gets better. It helps us look at the world more positively rather than negatively. Being resilient helps us bounce back and helps us be happier quicker. But at the same time, I said it has its downfalls. It's just about finding a balance. Be resilient, but don't be too resilient. Like, know that life does move on. Know that every situation, there's a reason it happens. Everything happens for a reason. But at the same time, when you go through things, I think it's important just to take a break and heal and find yourself. Don't do what I do. I don't ever suggest do what I do because, as I said, eventually my emotions do come out, and sometimes they come out at the wrong, appropriate times. But it's really hard for me because I just don't know how not to be resilient. And I guess this video is just talking about, hey, it's great to be resilient, it's great to bounce back, it's great to look at life positively, it's great that I'm able to bounce back and live life and focus on the future rather than on the past. But at the same time, being too resilient has caused me a lot of damage as well. So just find the balance, know that every situation, things happen. It is important to move on. Don't dwell on your past, but at the same time, heal correctly and be happy. Don't let a situation define you or a person define you because we are all independent people. And yeah, I don't know if that kind of makes sense. I guess I really just wanted to talk to you guys because I've been really, as I said, my mood, like I haven't cried, so I don't know what is going on, but I just thought I'd share my emotions and talk about how I'm way too resilient and why I hate it sometimes and why I love it. I'm sorry if the video didn't make sense and you guys are watching this and you're like, what is going on with her? But I just wanted to put a video and just talk about resiliency and talk about why it's important and why it's not. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up now. I forgot to make a video on New Year's, but I just want to say Happy New Year's. I wish you love, happiness, and joy. I hope all your dreams come true and you are all happy. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. As always, looking forward to making more videos as time goes on. Anyways, oh, by the way, I know a lot of people are going to comment and say I cut my hair. I didn't cut my hair. I don't know why, but my hair looks short in this video, but I can't do much. Anyways, good night, good morning, good afternoon, good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I hope this video made sense, and if you have questions, of course, just comment below. Bye, guys.